Good morning, everyone. I wanted to get on here and explain what we're doing today. It's something that I've talked about a little bit, but haven't gotten a chance to show you. And since we know enough about animals and ecosystems at this point, I feel comfortable asking you a question that I haven't got to yet. So we are going to talk about, if I can find it, we're going to talk about claim, evidence, and reasoning, which you're going to say, Ms. Fife, I've never heard of that before, and that is totally fine. It is something we do without ever really talking about so far. It's CER, or claim, evidence, reasoning. It's I like to think of it as how scientists make connections and show their thinking. So as a scientist, you guys are all my little scientists here, you're getting new information all the time. But when somebody asks you a question, like, well, Miss Fife didn't tell me that exact answer, but I know this, this, and this. Ooh, so I think the answer might be this. Even if it's wrong, it's 100% okay, because that is what scientists do. So a quick little example right here is a question is the question that you will need to answer. Your claim, that's why this guy has a little question mark. Your claim is your answer to the question. So even like I said, if it was totally wrong, it doesn't matter. As long as you're using these things down here and you're trying to make some connections, I call it good, because that means you're thinking outside the box and using your brain. Evidence is what information do you have that proves you're right, because you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to purposely go out of your way to get an incorrect answer. So when I say, oh, show your evidence, it's the same as in reading or in math. You have to find those things that prove that you are right, because you want to be right. So that's why there's a little magnifying glass and it's looking for evidence. Reasoning is how does the information you shared prove that your answer is right? So if I put evidence over here that doesn't prove that I'm right, or actually proves I'm wrong, well, when you try to make those connections, that reasoning is not going to make any sense. So what I'm going to be doing the next few days is asking you different parts of a CER. So sometimes I might give you your evidence and your claim, and then you're going to need to put together the reasoning. I'm just going to mix it up on you. That way we can focus on one little section of it at a time. Today, well, here, let me show you a little example. In class, we're going to talk about the question you need to answer. So the question would be, what do animals need to survive? So we know that there are things that help them survive better, but what do they absolutely need so that they can survive? So in your claim, you're going to want to have part of that question in your answer. So you're going to say animals need blank to survive, right? The evidence, what information do you have to prove that you're right? I know that animals survive better with, so think about back to all those things we've read, we've talked about, even things that you learned about outside of school. You're going to put them right there. You're going to say, oh, I know that animals need food to survive. Animals need water. They need shelter. They need space. Just thinking of those things that animals need to help them survive, the bare minimum. And then this is just evidence. You don't have to make any connections here, because this is where you connect that. So how does the information you shared prove your answer is right? So my evidence proves that this evidence proves my answer is right because, and so you would say, I read about these type of animals here, and when they didn't have water, they could only survive this long, or whatever your reasoning is, you connect that together and then double check that your answer made sense with that. So how here we had food, water, and shelter, we would say everywhere I've read about, animals need food, water, shelter, space to survive, something like that. So up here in your claim, you could say something like, animals need food, water, shelter, and space to survive. And then that would be a short, sweet little answer. And I feel like that would really cover all your bases here. So that was just an example. Your work for today is pretty short and sweet. You know, I like to keep it that way. I don't want to make you have to work too hard when I can't be there to support you as well. I try, but you know, distance learning. Here we go. So if you go to your teams, or yeah, teams will work. I'll go to block 3 this time. If you go in your block, so you'd either be block 1, 2, or 3, science, social studies, and it's actually going to be the first thing in general, claim, evidence, reasoning, CER, right here. If you click view assignment, and I have to click it to student view, Your instructions are pretty short and sweet. It says, please click on the CER assessment link and answer the 2 questions. The first question gives you the question you need to answer. All of the evidence and most of the reasoning are there. Your job is to click the claim box and type your answer using all the information given. The second question is where you type your name so I can give you credit for your work. So if you click there, I'm going to double check because oftentimes when I do that, it doesn't like to share. So it's going to open up to something like this, claim evidence reasoning. The question is, what helps some animals to survive better than others? So we talked about all animals needing food, water, shelter, space, but there are animals that really do survive better when they do this certain thing. So the question is, what helps them to survive better than others? And here is your evidence. I gave it to you. The baby wildebeest is rescued from the cheetah attack when its mother helps. There's 1. Penguins huddle together to stay warm. That's 2. Male chimps defend the troop and the females care for the kids. That's 3. So 3 different pieces of evidence to prove that claim that I'm hoping you come up with. Your reasoning. This evidence shows that some animals survive better when, and your job is to look for those 3 things. Is there anything consistent there? And then you're going to type your answer, whatever it is, your sentence. I think animals survive better when blank. And then you have to have your name. So you type, I'm going to put Holly on mine. If there were 2 Hollys in class, I'd make sure to put my last name. And then after you've completed everything, then submit, and it'll send it right to me, and I'll be able to see, yes, you get it, or, ooh, not quite. Don't panic if you don't get it. This just tells me where we're at and how much we need to work on each part of our learning, okay? So don't panic, just try your best. If you get totally stuck, send me a message on Teams or Dojo, and otherwise have a great day. See you soon. Bye.